gets us set for basketball between Eastern and Boise State. It is the Broncos and the Eagles for the 13th straight season. Boise State 10-2 against Eastern in the last 12 matchups since they renewed the rivalry in 2010. Boise State has won the last 8 matchups, and they will look to make it 9 in a row here tonight. It'll be Abby Muse going up against Millie Knowles for the tip-off, and the tip-off is won by Boise State. Maya Hansen controls the ball, finds Danny Bays on the left wing. She finds a cutting Elodie Lalott. Ball rolls around the rim and drops down for a bucket, and Elodie Lalott gets the scoring started early for Boise State. It's 2-0. First possession for Eastern Washington. Millie Knowles tries to slip a pass down low to Jamie Loera. That's stolen away by Mary Kay Narrow. Broncos moving right to left. They find Bays in transition. 3 rattles around and out for the freshman. Remains 2-0 as Eastern brings the ball left to right. Red uniforms with white numbers for the Eagles. Bounce pass into the right block. Millie Knowles goes up around Lalott. Shot is blocked. Second chance opportunity. That's turned aside by Elodie Lalott. And Danny Bays grabs the rebound. Maya Hansen gets to running for the Broncos. Broncos dressed in white, blue trim, orange numbers. Tiny Bronco heads on the right hip as Mary Kay Narrow takes a screen from Lalott. Passes the ball to Muse. Dribble handoff to Hansen. Beyond the arc, left wing. Deep 3. Cashes in. That's a Mountain America three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward. It's Boise State 5, Eastern Washington nothing. A minute and 15 seconds into the first quarter. Jadia Martin hands off to Millie Knowles at the top of the key for Eastern. Down low pass goes to Loera. She's trying to make a reverse layup. Flies it over the basket. And on the ensuing fast break, Maya Hansen is fouled. That'll bring the ball back. And Boise State will inbound right in front of their bench. It's Abby Muse doing the inbounding with 8.5 to play in quarter number 1. Broncos with the 5-0 lead. Mary Kay Narrow holding the ball above her head, right wing. Passes to Muse on the left wing. Muse drives in, slips past 2, but misses the layup. Some tough defense from Jacinta Buckley. A UNLV transfer stops her, and Eastern grabs the rebound. Eastern brings it over the line, and then trying to find Buckley, who was trailing, throws it right over her head. Buckley chases it down. It's an over and back. And a turnover against Eastern. Ball back to Boise State, leading 5-0 with 8:05 to play in quarter number 1. Hansen dribbling with the left hand. Stops, swings around, throws to Narrow in the right corner. To the right block, it goes to Lalott. She tries a jump pass across the key to Muse. That is stolen by Eastern, tipped around, and finally taken by Buckley. Toss across, and a foul on a three-point shot. The basket counts as Aaliyah Alexander canned a 3 in front of Boise State's bench. Free throw line extended. Muse fouled her, came through her on the landing. The 3 ball is good. And Eastern has their first points with an opportunity to make it a 4-point play. Alexander at the free throw line, and she does cash in. So one possession, it goes from a 5-0 Boise State lead down to a 5-4 Bronco lead with 7:45 to go here in the first. Maya Hansen over the timeline, finds Bays, left wing. The freshman launches. Her 3 ball rattles around for finally popping up and out in the hands of the graduate transfer, Jamie Loera. Alexander on a crossover, loses control towards the baseline. Hansen and Lalott rip it away, and the Broncos speed down the lane in transition. It goes to Narrow. She skips it across to Muse, and Abby Muse right underneath the basket puts home a layup to make it 7-4 Boise State. 2 minutes, 50 seconds gone by in quarter number 1. 7:05 now to play as Eastern gets another possession, trailing by 3. Looking to get just their second made field goal of the contest. It goes to Alexander in the right corner. Back up top to the power forward, Knowles. She's got Lalott in front of her looking for a pass. Shot clock down to 5 as it goes to last year's freshman of the year, Jadia Martin. Throws up a one-handed runner in the lane, and she banks it home to make it 7-6 as Eastern cuts into the Bronco lead. 6:40 to go, first quarter. Boise State back with possession in the hands of Hansen. Chest pass to Narrow. Over the top, slung back to the top of the key for Hansen. Muse steps into the lane, meets a double team, loses the ball, and it is knocked out of bounds by a combination of Millie Knowles and Jacinta Buckley. Couple of transfers on this Eastern Washington team. Buckley, the most recognizable for Broncos fans, as she played at UNLV before coming to Eastern. Former member in the Mountain West. She didn't play against Boise State last season. Hanson gets into the lane off the inbound, throws up a runner, falls down, gets her own rebound off the front of the rim, finds a way to sneak it to Muse on the right block, who goes up and gets fouled. And Abby Muse goes to the line with Boise State leading by 1, and an opportunity to extend it for the Broncos. Clock pauses with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to play. First quarter action in Boise. First free throw for Muse, up off back iron and then out. Muse will try again, looking to make it at least a 2-point game for Boise State, and she does that by swishing free throw number 2. Abby Muse with 3 points on the night. Broncos trying to trap at half court. Eastern slowly but surely across the timeline. Andy Zillak brings it up for the Eagles. Millie Knowles trying to run the offense from the top of the key, sets a screen for Zillak after passing to her. The ball is loose. It's picked up on the Bronco head by Eastern. And finally into the hands of Jaleesa Lawrence, a sophomore from Meridian, with 4 seconds on the shot clock. She gets to the top of the key, loses the handle. Muse deflects the shot that she heaved up at the end of the possession, and Mary Kay Nero puts 2 hands around the basketball as the buzzer goes for a shot clock violation against the Eagles. And credit Abby Muse with another block. Comes into this game third all time in program history for blocks per game with 1.51. It's Boise State by 2 with 5.5 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Broncos 8, Eastern 6. Hanson's got the ball for Boise State. They end up in the left corner for Nero. Lalat sets a screen for Nero, dribbling to her right, and she's called for moving the feet. An illegal screen against the Boise State junior forward. Lalat picks up the foul. Boise State turns it over to Eastern, who's still looking to tie or possibly even take the lead on this possession. Millie Knowles to Zilak. Into the paint it goes. Buckley trying to back down Muse from the right block. She misses her baby hook, and Ellie Lalat comes steaming in to take the ball away, and Boise State turns and runs. They get the ball to Lalat on the left block. She goes up over the top of Aaliyah Alexander. Broncos wanted a foul, didn't get it. Eastern's got the rebound. Zilak brings the ball into the key. Looks for a passing option, sees Buckley at the top of the arc. It's Alexander left corner, another chest pass, Buckley. Rotated around to Zilak. Swung back, Alexander puts the ball on the floor, carries through some contact, and a whistle goes for a foul. So it's Boise State by 2, 8-6 our score with 4 minutes and 41 seconds left to play in quarter number 1. We'll take our first timeout of the night. You're listening to Bronco Basketball on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. In Washington, with zero sugar and now even more delicious is the new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Grab one of the concession stand and find out for yourself. Boise State up by 2. Eastern Washington with the basketball, still looking to tie or take the lead on the possession. They've had it for a while. The shot clock got reset back to 20 seconds thanks to the foul. And the inbound goes to Jaleesa Lawrence. She dishes off right wing 3 on the way from Andy Zilak. She misses it. Offensive rebound goes to Loera. She is impeded by Abby Muse, and Muse grabs the rebound. Broncos are out and running. They find Bays, right wing, 3-ball just a little bit short off the front of the rim as it clangs up into the air, and it's snatched up by Zilak. Eagles want to come back with a 3 of their own. Quickly they take it, and Jada Martin hits it, the sophomore from Vancouver, Washington, who was last year's Big Sky Freshman of the Year. Broncos find Bays wide open on the ensuing possession. She was in the left corner. She misses that one off the front of the rim. And a slow start for Danny Bays, 0 for 3 on 3-point field goals. Make it 0 for 4 now after the most recent miss. A quick step-back jumper from Martin, and that falls for the small forward. It's now Eastern 11, Boise State 8 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Boise State slowing down offensively, just one of their last 7. Hansen trying to change things as she gets to the free throw line. Finds Muse at the left elbow. Abby Muse puts up a jump shot from that area. Bounces around a couple of times off the rim, off the backboard. Narrow flies in, pokes it around. But Eastern's got it going the other way with Zylak. Gets under the hoop, swatted by Abby Muse. Gets her own rebound, throws it out to Martin. Straightaway three, up and off back iron. Danny Bays got a hand to it, so did Andy Zylak. And the referees say that it is Bronco basketball off the missed three ball. Bays had it, Zylak knocked it away, and then it hit her in the elbow. So with Boise State trailing by 3, make some substitutions. They bring on Anna Osley, Trista Hull, and Natalie Pasco to complement Mary Kay Narrow and Abby Muse. Inbound goes to Osley, full court trap from Eastern Washington, leads to a foul at midcourt as the Broncos tried to break it with Muse, and Jaleesa Lawrence came through the back of Abby Muse. Couple of players getting to return back to the Treasure Valley for Eastern. Jaden McNeil, a freshman who played at Bora High School from Boise, and Jaleesa Lawrence played at Meridian High School, as the Broncos, right on the inbound, get another foul called on the floor. Abby Muse was posting up on the right block as the inbound went to Anna Osley. And they called the foul on Jada Martin. Narrow gets to inbound for the Broncos underneath their own hoop. It goes to Pasco, right in front of the Eastern Washington bench. She moves it to Osley, calling for a screen, gets one on the left side from Trista Hull, crosses over, step back, into the paint she goes. Ball swung around to the left corner for Natalie Pasco, who nails her first shot attempt from beyond the arc. A Mountain America three-pointer, Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward. 20 points for Pasco on Monday night. She's got 3 on her first shot, and it's 11-11, tie game with 2.5 to go. Quick ball movement from Eastern as they swing it around the outside before dumping it down to Jaleesa Lawrence on a cut. She scores, and Eastern's back on top by 2, 13-11. Past top of the key, Trista Hull for Boise State. Abby Muse splits a double team, takes a hand right around the wrist, and gets a foul called as she went up for the shot. Should be a shooting foul, and indeed it is. Abby Muse goes back to the line, and an opportunity to tie the game for the junior out of Brentwood, California. Heard from Gordy Presnell, going to be a little bit tougher test here tonight than it was on Monday, and so far Eastern hanging with Boise State as Muse's first free throw misses off the left iron. Boise State will not be able to tie the game on this set of free throws. In fact, Muse misses both, but the ball goes up into the air off the back of the rim, and Mary Kay Narrow gets the rebound. Nobody boxed her out, but it turns into a jump ball, and the possession arrow points for Eastern Washington. So with 2:10 to go in the first, Eagles come left to right. Jaleesa Lawrence, right wing, posturing with the ball above her head. Passes across to Zylak. Zylak gets the screen. Tries to use it to get into the paint. She does get into the paint. She throws up a layup, gets fouled, and scores. And one opportunity for Andy Zylak, a sophomore point guard from Spokane, Washington. They call the foul on Anna Osley for Boise State. And a couple of substitutions for both teams. Broncos going with Osley, Pasco, Lalott, Mary Kay Narrow, and newly entered into the ballgame, Allie Heckman, redshirt freshman from Burns, Oregon. Zylak trying to make it a three-point play. She does that. Eastern extends their advantage. They're up 5, 16-11. Just under 2 to go in quarter number 1. Osley, right wing, finds Pasco at the top, just outside the three-point arc. Pasco looking for a pass, find Heckman in the left corner. Osley back to the top. Broncos running a lot of motion with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bounce pass to Lalott, takes a lot of contact underneath the hoop from Buckley. That gets the Bronco bench up, asking for another foul. And again, they don't get the call that they were hoping for. Broncos inbound, 3 on the shot clock, goes to Pasco, throws up a left-handed runner in the key, doesn't go, and then the Broncos are called for the foul on the rebound for reaching over the back. And that is the 5th foul against Boise State. The foul goes against Allie Heckman, and it puts Eastern Washington into the bonus, which means 2 shots are coming up for Alexis Pettis, who just came onto the court during the last round of substitutions. Eastern looking to go up even more. First free throw is good from Pettis. This year a sophomore after playing in all 30 games last year and got 1 start. Second free throw, good, and that makes it a 7-0 Eagle lead here towards the tail end of quarter number 1. It is 18-11 with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter as the Broncos break the full court pressure. Osley's got it in the front court for Boise State and is called for an offensive foul. Used her left hand, full extension to push off Pettis. That'll turn it back over to Eastern, and Boise State, who was trying to stop the run, instead gives Eastern an opportunity to extend the run as Zylak bounce pass to Knowles. Standing right beyond the free throw line, she sails a pass over the head of a cutting Buckley who was going to be open. Instead, it'll go as a turnover. And with 1 minute and 3 seconds left, the Broncos get the ball back. Just 1 of 8 on their last 8 field goal attempts. They inbound it, and now we're under 1 minute to go in quarter number 1. Broncos trailing by 7, 18-11. The score, Maya Hansen dribbling the ball on her right hand, crosses over to the left, takes a screen from Muse on the left side. Passes to Lalat. Lalat goes to Pasco. Pasco picks up the dribble right wing, dumps it in Lalat. Lalat spins right, then left, goes over the rim, but Muse is there to clean it up. Muse misses. Lalat's got it. She throws the shot up, and she gets fouled. Elodie Lalat will go to the free throw line for Boise State to try to put an end to their scoring drought. Good hustle play down low for the Broncos from their 2 big bodies in Abby Muse and Elodie Lalat. Lalat at the line, shooting 2. Lalat coming off a 12.6 rebound performance on Monday. Her first free throw hit the front of the rim, looked like it was going to go down, and then just rolled out. It remains 18-11 in favor of the visiting Eastern Washington Eagles. Lalat's second free throw is nothing but net. So Boise State ends the run that was at 7-0, but it's still Eastern with the advantage, 18-12. 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. A 6-second differential between the game and the shot clock. Down low, Buckley moves to the left around Muse as she crossed through the paint. Missed the shot. Muse has got the ball, puts it on the floor to find Maya Hansen. And the shot clock is turned off. Broncos will try to hold. The freshman point guard dribbles it back out to the timeline. Screen from Lalat. Under 10 in the quarter. Hansen on the drive. Swat by Camille Gentz. And it's Eastern with 1 second left. Zylak gets to the key, throws up a shot at the buzzer. They'll have to review it. But for now, they'll say that it counts. And it's Eastern Washington 20, Boise State 12 after a period. We'll let you know whether the shot counts or not when we come back to Boise. The Broncos trail after 1 on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. Back in Boise, Double R Ranch is an exceptional quality premium beef brand from the heart of the Northwest and a proud partner of the Boise State Broncos. Whether you're watching Double R Vision at ExtraMile Arena or grilling a premium steak at home, we're proud to be part of your game day experience. And this holiday season, our friends at Peterson Lexus will participate in the annual Toys for Tots charity drive. Please stop by to donate any unused or new toys from November 21st to December 15th. Peterson Lexus, located at 9055 West Fairview Avenue. Broncos have made their way back out onto the court, still waiting on the Eagles to come out, and the refs still taking a look at the monitor, but it looks like they have decided that the jumper by Andy Zylak at the end of the period was good, and it will count. a little bit of a pause as the three of them have all gathered still at the monitor, and Eastern taking full advantage of this time, spending it all in their huddle at the bench as Boise State had hit the floor, but now they will come back and talk to Gordy Presnell as the officials continue to review the shot from Zilak. They took the entire timeout, taking a look at it, and they still are reviewing it, just trying to make sure they've got it absolutely right. If it stands, it's 20-12 in favor of Eastern Washington. If they take the shot off, of course, it will be 18-12. Either way, Eastern has the advantage, but a 6-point instead of an 8-point lead would be good news for the Boise State Broncos. And just waiting to hear the official announcement. Fixing the scoring discrepancy is the official announcement we just got from the official who ran over here and gave us the announcement. And the bucket from Zilak is definitely going to count. It's not just a scoring discrepancy whether or not the shot counted. They actually gave Eastern another point as well. So it's 21-12. There was a missed point added to both the stats and the in-arena scoreboard somehow, and so the official scorers over at the table are combing through their made baskets and free throws, trying to see where they missed the extra point for Eastern, and so that's what the delay is all about. The Idaho Drug Overdose Prevention Program encourages all Boise State fans to protect loved ones by getting and carrying naloxone. Naloxone is the medication that can reverse an opioid overdose. Get naloxone, you could save a life. Visit stopoverdoseidaho.org to find naloxone near you. Broncos are going to get the basketball to begin the second quarter. The question now is, when will the second quarter begin? The officials are still over at the table. Finally, they get the thumbs up, and we can resume play. It's Eastern Washington 21, Boise State 12. And the Broncos have the basketball to begin quarter number 2. Maya Hansen, right wing, screen from Lalat. A pass cross court finds Pasco. Pasco takes the screen from Muse, dribbles to her right, stops and lifts the ball up at the free throw line. Hansen, left, then right dribble, passes to Bays. Bays holding the ball over her head. Her pass tipped, a lot of topspin, and it falls right into the hands of Aaliyah Alexander for Eastern Washington. A turnover to begin the quarter, not the way Boise State wanted. Eastern directing traffic. Jamie Lorero waving her left hand in the air, motioning for teammates to get away. Passes to Pettis, and the ball is kicked by Natalie Pasco of the Broncos. 20 seconds on the shot clock. And Loera will inbound. Really good player, spent 4 years at Arizona State. A drive off the inbound from Alexander. No ma'am, says Abby Muse as she gets into the paint and has her shot thrown back to the floor. Another big block for Abby Muse. Crediting Muse with 5 blocks in the game. Not sure how long that will stand for, but that's the official number they have Muse tabbed at only in the second quarter. Eastern keeps the basketball, inbound to Loera, dribbling around at the free throw line, puts up a jumper off the dribble, misses that off the back iron. Muse has the board. Hansen coming away for Boise State. A minute gone by in the second quarter, still no score, 21-12. Eastern up. Abby Muse gets to the paint, gets a good look, but she misses it long. And after Lalat fought for the rebound, couldn't grab it. Eastern the other way with Loera. Drop pass to Buckley, trailing behind her. Now it's Jensch on the left block, turns to her right. Puts a sky hook up over Muse. That won't go as it comes off the backboard. Muse corrals it. Puts it up court just ahead of Hansen, who had to really chase it down. Hansen, crouch dribble, right wing three, goes up, misses it. Muse has got the rebound, trying to save it. And she throws it back towards the middle of the court. No Broncos there. They had turned around in transition. We talked about the keys to the game in the pregame being for Boise State to get the ball down low and to make shots like they had on Monday night They're getting the ball down low, but they're not making shots, shooting just 21% as Eastern gets the ball back. Gents operating a two-man game with Alexander. Alexander cuts off her, gets to the rim, puts up a right-handed layup and leaves it short off the side of the rim and the glass. Muse has another rebound as Hansen thinks better of the fast break, drops it back out. Hansen points to the right, telling Narrow to get into the corner. They move the ball to Danny Bays to the Broncos. Bays goes behind a screen, trying to hide behind Elodie Lalat. She gets into the lane and she walks, trying to hand it off to Muse. And Gordy Presnell wants to call a timeout. He finally gets it. He had to gesture quite a few times after the travel. So it's 21-12, Eastern with the lead. No baskets to speak of with 7:52 left in the second quarter on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. Boise State fans to ExtraMile Arena. This year, Bud Light is for the fans, and St. Luke's and Boise States are proud to be blue. Together, we're partners in healthcare education, research, and community health. Learn more at stlukesonline.org. Boise State behind in period number 2 to Eastern Washington. It's 21-12. The score, the Eagles have the lead. 7:52 to play. Quarter number 2. Gordy Presnell just called a timeout after Danny Bays got caught traveling inside the key. It's Eastern Washington basketball. To Millie Knowles on the right elbow it goes. She carries in, ball firmly placed on her hip as she bullies Lalat underneath the paint and scores to make an 11-point lead for Eastern at 23-12, 7.5 remaining in the first half. Danny Bays, top of the key for Boise State. High dribble up to her chest before corralling the ball. Pass swung to the top for Maya Hansen. Bays pump fakes, gets her defender in the air, finds some space on the right wing to take a three, misses another one. She's 0 for 5 from outside, and Eastern's got the rebound. Jaleesa Lawrence coming into the paint, out of control, loses the ball, and it rolls right up to the ankle of Lalat. Narrow can push with tempo as Narrow gets into the lane, misses her layup. Abby Muse flies for the board. She's got bodies all around her, tries to put up a shot, misses that. Elodie Lalat comes in on the backside, swoops up the rebound, scores the second chance points, and the Broncos have their first basket in the second. It's 23-14, 6:50 to go. Here comes Loera for Eastern Washington. Narrow runs into her on her drive, and as Loera tried to put up a left-handed layup, gets fouled on the shot. That'll send her to the line, and she will shoot two. Nice carry and a fake pass out to the corner from Loera. Kept the ball away from Narrow. Two shots at the free throw line coming up for Jamie Loera, graduate transfer, originally from Moses Lake, Washington. Her first free throw sputters around in the rim and then stays out. Played 4 seasons with the Sun Devils. She went to the Sweet 16 in 2016 with that ASU squad, and she makes her second free throw. 10-point lead for Eastern Washington, 6:40 remaining. Second quarter action, 24-14 Eagles. Broncos with the basketball. Hansen driving to her left. Left-handed dribble, uses the right elbow to keep Lawrence at bay. She gets to the free throw line, and off the dribble, Maya Hansen cashes in with her second made jump shot of the night. It's Boise State 16, Eastern Washington 24, 6:20 on the clock, second period. Jacinta Buckley dribbles around Muse, puts up a three, misses it. Danny Bays has got the rebound. It's a 3-on-2 in favor of Boise State. Bays takes it herself to the rim, rolls it off the backboard, and it drops down. Broncos cutting into the deficit. It's 24-18, 6 to play in the second quarter. Eastern still on top. Jacinta Buckley, bounce pass to Loera on the left block. She makes a quick pass out of there to Lawrence at the top of the key. Lawrence on the drive to the right side. Her floater is off, missed the window, but Camille Gents is there to grab the rebound, put it in off the glass, and score. Eastern goes up by 8 again. It's 26-18. Boise State next possession. Maya Hansen throws it over the top of Abby Muse, taken away by Jamie Loera. Loera motions that she wants Buckley to come towards her. Instead, she just passes it over there. Gents holding the ball at her chest, out to Buckley, left wing. Buckley driving on Muse, twists right, goes back left, tries to score. Muse holds onto the ball, and she got hit. No whistle. Gordy Presnell championing for his player as Mary Kay Narrow takes the ball herself to the rim, gets fouled, and Mary Kay Narrow gets to go to the free throw line for Boise State. Shooting 2, and a good response out of the timeout by the Broncos, who have made their last 3 field goals with 5:05. The clock stopped at here at ExtraMile Arena. 2 free throws for Narrow, right-handed shooter, lifts up and makes no mistake on the first. Finding only white nylon. Second shot. That one uses the rim a little bit, but result the same as the first. It drops, and Boise State back within 6. A good run for the Broncos to make it 26-20 in favor of the Eagles. Under 5 to go. Zylak left corner, dribbling around, trying to get past Pasco. She pushes her way into the middle of the lane, barges on Pasco. Missed the shot as she was falling away from the rim, though. Took a lot of contact to do it. Rebound to Alexis Pettis. Behind the back dribble as Bays gets floored by a screen. That sets up a bounce pass to Jentz, who's all alone at the rim, and she blows the layup. Eastern's got the rebound with Zylak. Third opportunity on the possession. 3 on the shot clock. Jentz puts one up. Free throw line extended right side. Misses it into the hands of Lalott. And Boise State will come right to left. Pasco, quick transition 3. Natalie Pasco buries it. Her second made three-pointer on the night. It's another Mountain America three-pointer for Mountain America Credit Union, guiding you forward. And Eastern Washington calls a timeout. Their head coach, Jody Gleason, in just her second season, wants to talk things over as the two teams will stay up 26-23. Eastern in the lead, but they're seeing it dwindle after it got to as much as 11 just a few minutes ago. Now with 4 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first half, the Broncos on fire have made 4 of their last 4 shots. Project Filter wants to know, what if you quit smoking or vaping today? You can quit and we can help. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or visit projectfilter.org. Boise State coming back, playing with their hair on fire here over the last minute and a half of quarter number 2, and we're back to action with Eastern off the inbound. Bringing the ball across the timeline is Andy Zylak. She pulls up in front of the Bronco bench, asking for a screen from Pettis. Instead, she passes to Pettis. Bays guarding her. Pettis to the drive to the baseline, carries the ball through some contact, and then manages to squirt up at the basket and put it away for 2. 28-23 Eastern, under 4 to play, second quarter. Natalie Pasco comes off a screen to the left wing. 3-ball looked good, and it hopped out. So the first miss from downtown for Pasco. And Eastern comes the other way with Zylak. Stops at the free throw line, outside Alexander. Into the post, Jentz. Spinning right on Lalott. Scores over the top of the Boise State junior. And Camille Jentz, the 6'3" freshman, finding room to operate down low. She makes it 30-23. Eastern Washington, 3:25 to play. We got a foul on the floor. Away from the ball, wondering who it's on. Looks like they're going to call it on Camille Jentz. Freshman from Lake Stevens, Washington, was in the way of Elodie Lalott, and the foul is called. Broncos trailing by 7. Trying to get another bucket, stay hot, made 4 of their last 5. Pasco flares out off another screen. This time she hits the deep ball off the right wing for another Mountain America three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward, and Natalie Pasco on fire for Boise State. She's got 9 points. 30-26, 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Eastern possession with Zylak, bouncing around at the free throw line. Puts up a shot over the top of Danny Bays, missed it off back iron. Muse has the rebound. That's her 9th. What a game for Abby Muse here in the first half as Boise State comes the other way. Get the ball into the hands of Pasco. Freshman's been fantastic. Loses her dribble, so she passes it to Muse. Free throw line extended, left side. Bays makes some space for herself on the arc. Misses her shot, narrow. Went in and then had to ease up. Didn't want to get called for a foul. So it's still a 4-point game. Eastern Washington trying to extend the lead at 30-26. 2.5 to go on this possession. Outside Alexander. Screen for Jentz. Alexander, left baseline drive. Tough angle. Uses the window and scores from in tight. 6-point advantage for Eastern at 32-26 thanks to the made basket. Narrow, right-handed dribble, spins back, uses the left this time. Pasco gets another screen set. This time she comes inside the arc, dishes to Muse, who splits a double team. Just walked right through them like they weren't even there. And she scores on the right side of the hoop. It's 32-28, less than 2 in the second. Eastern to Zylak. Pump fakes on Pasco, drives around her. Passes out, top of the key, Buckley steps just inside, gets to the free throw line, stops, pops, and cans the jumper. 34-28 in favor of the Eagles as they keep trading buckets. Narrow for 3, off to the right side. Rebound to Zylak with 1.5 minutes left to go in the second period. Buckley running the floor. No one got back for Boise State to stop her. And she puts in another bucket. Eastern back up by 8. And both teams finding success from the floor. Eastern has made their last 3 shots. Narrow for Boise State, using the hand to create some space on the right wing. Gets to Pasco, top of the key. Pasco, pull-up jumper, a heat check, and she's feeling it. Natalie Pasco with a deep 3 for a Mountain America three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward. She's hit 4 triples in the half, and it's 36-31, 50 seconds to go. Second quarter action. Eastern with the ball, Alexander. Dribbling, tries to sham in the middle of the paint with 3 Broncos around her. Trouble as she lost the ball and then called for a 3-second violation. She tried to cross over from left to right, and then she strung it too far along, so tried to roll it back. It didn't work out for her, and because she still had the ball with her, she was called for a 3 in the key. A turnover to Boise State with 40 seconds on the game clock in period number 2. Trailing by 5. Bays gets open, top of the key with a screen, and Mountain America three-pointers are raining down. This time courtesy of Danny Bays, her first triple. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward. Broncos on a 6-0 run. They're back within 2 at 36-34. 2-second difference between the game and the shot clock as Eastern will hold for the final shot of the half. Boise State shooting it at 40% from outside. Zylak gets a screen with 10 seconds. Dribbling around Narrow, gets to the paint, picks up her dribble, 4 seconds, and she travels as Narrow put her body in the way just outside the paint on the right side of the rim by the Mountain America Credit Union logo. And the Broncos will try to go quickly and tie this game. Narrow to half court, 2 seconds, 1, she heaves, and it is short, but a wild comeback for Boise State with big-time shooting performances from Natalie Pasco and Danny Bays over the end of the period. I mean, the Broncos going to the break, trailing by just 2. It's Eastern 36, Boise State 34, and we've got plenty to come on the Mountain America Credit Union Bronco halftime show when we come back on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. And for Boise State, the freshmen have been called upon to do quite a bit here in the early season, and Gordy Presnell's faith in them has been rewarded, especially Natalie Pasco, who led all scorers on Monday night. Well, she got back into the swing of things real quick here tonight.
Ropaint.com and Snake River Pool and Spa. The Broncos encourage all fans to support these proud partners and make them a part of your home team today. Go Broncos! Broncos are proud to present the Boise State Athletics preferred restaurant partners.
Boise State would find themselves trailing for a majority of the first and second periods, but they started to get back into the things, and a lot of that had to do with the defensive effort from Abby Muse.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Tucano's Brazilian Grill, and 10 Barrel Brewing. Enjoy responsibly. The Broncos encourage all fans to support these proud partners and make them a part of your next dining experience. Go Broncos!
Big block for Abby Muse, who on the night already has picked up 5 blocks in this game. Huge game for Muse, exactly what Boise State needed on the defensive end. And then the Broncos caught fire. Natalie Pasco and Danny Bays trading threes for Boise State to pull them back within 2. Bays, who missed her first 6 3-pointers, still the confidence to put it up towards the end of the second period, and she nails that 3-ball. They made it 36-34. That's where the score remains here at the half, and we will be back with plenty more. We'll take a look at the stats when we come back. Keep it here. You're listening to Boise State basketball on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. We're back on the Mountain America Credit Union Bronco halftime show. Sport your Bronco pride with the Boise State debit card from Mountain America, the official credit union of the Broncos. Details at any Mountain America branch. Membership required based on eligibility. Mountain Land Supply is now in Nampa. Get your plumbing, HVAC, waterworks, landscaping, agricultural, pump, drilling, tools, and safety supply for your next project at 1428 Madison Ave, building number 6, or go online to mountainlandsupply.com. At the half, Eastern Washington 36, Boise State 34. It's a close contest, and Boise State pulling themselves out of a hole that they were in thanks to a 6-0 run over the last minute of the second half, or rather the second quarter. And let's check the first half stats. Sponsored by Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly. Boise State shooting just a tad worse from the field than Eastern. They've made 12 baskets compared to Eastern's 14. Eastern shooting 40%, Boise State shooting 36%. While Eastern Washington is 50% on 3-pointers, Boise State is 40%, but the Broncos have nearly doubled up. They've more than doubled up Eastern. They've nearly tripled up Eastern from outside. Eastern 3 of 6 from deep, Boise State 6 of 15 while shooting from distance, but Eastern at the free throw line 5 of 6 compared to just 4 of 8 for Boise State, only 50% for the Broncos. That's a number that they will want to improve. 8 turnovers for both sides and 21 rebounds for the two teams. So about as evenly matched as you could ask for in the team stats department. Broncos with 6 blocks compared to just 1 for Eastern, though, and 5 of those credited, as we said, to Abby Muse. Looking at the individual numbers, Natalie Pasco, again, leading the way for Boise State. What a key contributor she's been in her first 2 games of her Bronco career. 20 points Monday, already 12 in just 9 minutes of on-floor action in the first half. She's 4 of 6 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3-point field goals, and she is having an outstanding game. She leads all Broncos scorers and all scorers in the contest with 12. A trio of Broncos have 5, those being Danny Bays, Maya Hansen, and Elodie Lalott. So 3 freshmen leading scorers, and Abby Muse also with 5 points as well for Boise State. So make it a quintet of Broncos who have 5 points on the night. On the other side, Eastern Washington, very balanced attack. Don't have any players with 10, but Jadia Martin has 8 for Eastern. She only played 6 minutes, though, in the first half. She's 3 of 4, shooting 2 of 3 from outside. While the next highest score for Eastern is Aaliyah Alexander, who has 6 points. Andy Zylak with 5, including the bucket at the buzzer in the first period. And Camille Jentz and Jacinta Buckley, along with Alex Pettis, have 4 points for Eastern Washington University. Today's halftime stats were brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of Bronco Athletics, reminding you to enjoy responsibly. There's never been a better time to get a great deal on a Ford truck or SUV at your Idaho Ford stores. Ford, the official truck of the Broncos. Boise State 34, trailing Eastern Washington, who have 36. Broncos looking to win their 9th straight matchup between these two schools. Boise State 10-2 in the past 12 seasons against Eastern, hold the series advantage at 36-20 all time. We will take another break. When we come back, the second half will be upon us. Boise State, looking to improve to 2-0 on the season, needs to come back down the stretch to do so. You're listening to Bronco Basketball on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome back to Extra Mile Arena. Mountain America Credit Union is proud to be the official credit union of the Broncos. Reward yourself with MyStyle checking from Mountain America. Earn points towards travel, gift cards, events, and more. Details at macu.com/mystyle. Membership required based on eligibility. It is Boise State trailing Eastern Washington. Been saying the whole time during halftime that it was 36-34. They have now gone back to the scorers table during the last break. They have checked in with the official scores again. They have taken a point off for Eastern, and it is now 35-34. So after they added a point for Eastern at the end of the first quarter, they have now, at the start of the third quarter, taken that point back off. Boise State is behind by 1 point. It's 35-34 in favor of Eastern Washington. And we get confirmation from the officiating crew that that is indeed what the case is. So they take the point back off. So Boise State only trailing by 1 as we begin quarter number 3. It's Eastern Washington basketball with Jamie Loera. And she'll do a dribble handoff with Alexander. Eastern going right to left. Now in this second half, Millie Knowles perched up at the top of the key, looking for a pass, finds one to Martin. Martin gets into the right corner, puts up a 3. Knowles, not boxed out, grabs the offensive rebound, and the Eagles will keep this possession alive. To the baseline, Buckley. Left side, walk-in, stepped out of bounds. It's a turnover against Eastern, and then Buckley got hit by the ball coming back for the Boise State inbound. Caught her right in the shoulder, and she did not look amused. Eastern playing a full court press. Stanny Bays and Maya Hansen easily break it by sharing the rock back and forth. And with 9.5 to go in the third quarter, Boise State has an opportunity to take a lead, something they haven't done since the first quarter. Ball goes to Abby Muse on the Mountain West logo, down on the right end of the court. She misses her shot. Elodie Lalott crashes the glass and enters the party to put Boise State on top. 36-35, a minute gone by in the third. Broncos have their first lead since the first quarter. Loera for Eastern Washington. A pass to Buckley. Buckley dribbles to her right, pulls up just inside the arc, fading away, knocks down the shot, and makes it 37-36, puts the Eagles back in front. Minute 15 played at quarter number 3. Hand off to Bays. She's inside the three-point line. Danny Bays comes off the Muse screen, and she swishes from just inside the arc and outside the circle for the free throw line. It's 38-37, minute and a half played in the third quarter. Millie Knowles goes back to the basket, backs down. Elodie Lalott then spins through and scores. Eastern back in front. 39-38, two teams switching sides. Bays fakes a pass, then makes a real pass to Maya Hansen. She flips it over the top, looking for Elodie Lalott. And Millie Knowles grabbed Lalott's arm, held her down, and gets called for a foul. Clock stops, 8 minutes, 9 seconds on it in the third quarter. Boise State behind by a point, 39-38 is our score. Here at Extra Mile Arena in Boise, Leonard Berry with you as the Broncos take on the Eagles in their second game of the season. Inbound under the basket goes to narrow left corner. Lalott telegraphs a pass to Muse. Muse grabs the ball. She's in the back court, and she's called for a double dribble. She put the ball on the floor, picked it up, and then tried to dribble it once again. Called for the double dribble, and it's a turnover to Eastern, who tried to extend their lead on this possession. 39-38 the score for the Eagles. Pass to Jentz, left elbow, and a foul called underneath the hoop. Foul called against Mary Kay Nero as she's trying to fight through a screen. Down towards the end line. 7:54 remaining, third period. Another Eastern inbound. Ball goes to Loera, gets the screen from Jentz. Jentz pops out, wants a 3 from the left wing. She misses it. Rebound tipped by Buckley, but she couldn't control it. Bays has it for the Broncos. The Australian going quick, passes to Hansen. To the baseline goes the freshman for Boise State. Hanson then backs it out to the left wing, asking for someone to pass the ball to. Alexander knocks it away from her. Elodie Lalott grabs it, throws it to Muse underneath the hoop. Abby Muse goes up on the left side and gets fouled. She puts Boise State ahead and gives them an opportunity for a three-point play. Good finish from Abby Muse. And the Broncos up by one. Chance for Muse to make it two. Muse closing in on another double-double, had 18 and 10 on Monday. And she swirls home the free throw to give her 8 points. She's got 8 points, 9 rebounds. Does the junior for Boise State. Eastern Washington with the basketball after seeing their lead disappear yet again. Gents has it. Straight away from the basket, just beyond the three-point line. Hand off to Loera. Into the corner, three ball from Alexander. And that drops in. Hand in her face and everything for Alexander. Puts Eastern on top, 42-41. Switching leads often with just under 7 to play in the third quarter. Bays over the top pass to Hanson, left corner. Bounce pass, skips around, skips through. Goes to the baseline, but it was touched by Eastern. Intended recipient was Abby Muse of Boise State. And Maya Hanson will run the inbound play for the Broncos. Inbound pass is tipped. It's stolen by Jamie Loera. Eastern has to slow it down on the fast break as Alexander stops in the right corner. Goes back to the top. Loera, three with narrow right in front of her, and she hits it to make it 45-41. Eagles in the lead, 6:25 to go. Hanson trying to put a stop to what is a 6-0 Eagle run thanks to the back-to-back triples. Abby Muse left elbow. Middle of the paint, Elodie Lalott fights through two, spins around to her left, and uses the left hand for a superb finish. That does end the Eagle run, makes it 45-43. Broncos still trail by 2 with 6 to play in the third quarter. Alexander left wing, guarded by Bays. Gets past her, then slides past the help defense of Lalott, but she misses her shot. Lalott gets fouled by Jacinta Buckley as she grabbed the rebound with one hand, went up and palmed it at the high point. And then Buckley whacked her on the arm as she brought it in, almost like a receiver making a one-handed snag. Broncos get Natalie Pasco back into the game. Mary Kay Nero, Danny Bays, Abby Muse, Elodie Lalott, the other four on the court with her. Nero, screen from Muse, gets to the top of the key. Lalott moves the ball to Bays. Another inside the arc jumper for Bays, and the shot was blocked by Jaleesa Lawrence. Here come the Eagles, right to left. Alexander out of control in the paint, manages to calm things down, and she rolls a little lollipop layup off the front of the rim and in to make it 47-43. 5:10 left in the third quarter. Pasco hounded in the right wing, moves the ball to Bays. Bays to Muse, bounce past Lalott. Efficient ball movement from Boise State as Elodie Lalott caps off the play with a bucket. Broncos behind by 2, 47-45. Eastern leading. Loera, little jab step with the right, now drives baseline, trying to blow past Nero. Spins, fades, throws up an out of control shot as Nero gets hit after Muse got the rebound, tried to outlet to Nero, and Nero got hit nearly in the face by Aaliyah Alexander. It was not intentional, but it is a foul, and that sends us to a break. Eastern still by 2, but Boise State hanging in there. It's 47-45 on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. We're back after this, right? Okay. Back at ExtraMile Arena, Boise State trailing Eastern Washington 47-45. Broncos have the basketball as Mary Canero holds it on the right wing for Boise State. Finds Danny Bays coming off a screen. She is stopped. So Bays throws it down low to Abby Muse. Muse had the position but lost the basketball. It ends up on the floor, and it is a full-on war as Muse landed on her back, clutching the basketball in her arms. Possession arrow favors the Broncos. They'll get to keep it. And just a simple bobble from Muse, and that allowed Eastern Washington to swarm her. Narrow inbounds, 7 on the shot clock for Boise State. Goes to Pasco off the inbounds play. Right baseline, Pasco spins back, scores, and ties the game. Natalie Pasco, the freshman, having a stellar opening week to her Bronco career. She makes it 47-47 with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. She's got 14 points. Entering the game, Jaden McNeil. First time we've seen the Boise native on the floor for Eastern. Jaleesa Lawrence gets the handoff pass from her. Goes to the right block before Lawrence kicks it back out to the corner to McNeil. McNeil on the drive, and Abby Muse says no. Another big swat from the Broncos center. That is her 6th block. Huge block for Abby Muse. Eastern inbound, 6 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Pass out goes to Martin. Martin guarded in the paint by Anna Osley. Her layup is off the back iron, and Narrow turns on the Jets to Pasco. Left corner 3. Bang! Natalie Pasco, the freshman. Another Mountain America three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward as the Broncos take a lead. It's 50-47, and Natalie Pasco is playing like an elite player as into the paint goes Andy Zylak. She gets fouled. What an opening series for Natalie Pasco, who now has 17 points. She leads all scorers. She is 5 of 6 from the outside after she went 2 of 6 on threes in her debut. Zylak is at the line shooting 2. It's 50-47, and Zylak makes the first to make it 50-48, brings Eastern back within 2. 3 minutes and 21 seconds reads the clock here in the third quarter at ExtraMile Arena. Both free throws are made by Zylak, so it's 50-49. Boise State ahead by 1 in this rivalry matchup. Monday night, a 121-64 win versus Multnomah for Boise State. For Eastern, it was an 86-47 victory on Monday against Corbin University. Broncos have the ball back, trying to break a full court press, and Abby Muse's pass is blocked. Eastern gets it right back. They find Jadia Martin in the right corner, and she swishes home a 3 ball. Eastern's back on top by 2. It's 52-50. Now Narrow has the ball stolen at the middle of the court, but then she steals it right back, and the Broncos are on the run out. Pasco gets the pass from Narrow. She loses it as she tries to drive into the paint, and it falls right into the lap of Jacinta Buckley. A bunch of possession switching, but it's Eastern who has it and slows things down with 2:45 remaining in the third. 52-50, they lead. Loera drives into the paint. It's a drive and dish as she finds an open Jaleesa Lawrence in the right corner. And a 3-pointer, another one for Eastern. There's 6 of the game. It makes it an 8-0 run for Eastern to put them up 55-50 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Pasco finds Osley, top of the key. Osley uses a screen from Muse. Muse rolls. Osley can't get that pass in. Takes it to the baseline before picking up her dribble. Pasco, free throw line extended right side to Muse. Goes up heavy, gets fouled, and Abby Muse is going back to the free throw line. She's already taken 5 free throws in the game. These will be the 6th and 7th of her night. That stops the clock with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in the third. 55-50. Eastern on top. Muse shooting 2 with zero sugar, and now even more delicious is the new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Grab one at the concession stand and find out for yourself. Substitutions being made for Boise State, and 5 on the floor for the Broncos include a trio of freshmen. It's Maya Hansen, Danny Bays, Natalie Pasco, Elodie Lalott, and Abby Muse, who sinks her first free throw. She's only shooting 50% at the line so far tonight. She's 3 of 6. Wants to cash in again and does. Good job from Muse to make them both. Exactly what Boise State needed. And that makes it 55-52. Loera blows by, showing off the pace. Gets down to the bucket, but gets blocked. Number of Broncos in on the play. Muse on the ensuing fast break for Boise State. She leaves her shot short, and there's a foul called as Muse was fighting for the rebound. She got tripped up by Jamie Loera, who was diving on the floor for the basketball. She crashed right into the hip of Abby Muse, taking some solid contact. That's the 5th foul against Eastern in the 3rd, so that means Broncos are in the bonus, and Muse will be shooting 2 in a 55-52 game. Meanwhile, Jody Gleason has made her way up to the middle of the scorer's table to have some words with the officials, and Muse, after going 2 for 2 on the last trip, misses this free throw. Second free throw is good for Abby Muse, though, and it's Boise State behind by a pair, 55-53. Eagles, the lead in the basketball with 1:45 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Martin at the top of the key, guarded by Pasco, drives in, step back, 3-ball is good, and the sophomore having a nice showing. She's got 13 points and just hit her 3rd three-pointer of the evening. 58-53 Eastern, a minute and a half left to play, 3rd period. Danny Bays into the paint, spins around the defenders, puts up the underhanded layup. Abby Muse just rips the ball away underneath the hoop from Camille Gentz and then gets fouled. Muse is going back to the free throw line for her 3rd trip in the last minute for Muse. Just took it right out of the hands of Camille Gentz. Strong-armed her way in there and would not be denied the basketball. 58-53 the score. Eastern Washington leading Boise State. Muse trying to trim it, makes the first. 4-point game. So the Broncos have really responded quite nicely in regards to their shooting performance here in the second half. Muse makes both. 58-55 Eastern the lead. Boise State in the second half shooting 64% from the floor. Aaliyah Alexander receives a pass left wing. She puts up a quick 3, misses the shot, and then tries to swarm Maya Hansen, who got the pass from Bays, who grabbed the rebound. There's a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Broncos with a 3 could tie the game on this possession. Natalie Pasco's got the ball. Her bounce pass to Trista Hull, scouted by Buckley, who takes it away. Up the floor, Alexander stops. Maya Hansen goes down, wanted to charge, doesn't get it. It's a blocking foul instead, as Alexander brushed off her. She thought maybe that she could set herself up in a position to get the ball back for her team. Instead, she's called for a foul. Eastern by 3, 55-58. Alexander inbounding for the Eagles. They throw it out to the top of the key to Lawrence. The Meridian High School product misses her runner in the lane, and Muse has the rebound. Muse has 13 points and 12 rebounds. Another outstanding game for Abby Muse and another double-double. Danny Bays receives a pass, finds Maya Hansen, top of the key. Hansen misses the 3. Muse grabs another rebound as she chases it down to the right corner. That leaves Pasco open, and Natalie Pasco again for her 6th 3-ball. A Mountain America 3-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward. Pasco from the right wing ties the game at 58. 10 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Here comes Alexander into the lane. She slips, lost the ball, but a whistle and a foul called against Trista Hull of Boise State with 5.7 ticks in the 3rd period. It is only the 4th foul against the Broncos, so Eastern is not into the bonus. Good news for Boise State. They don't get free throws. Instead, Alexander inbounds underneath the hoop, looking for a passing option. Can't find one. Has to fling it out to the 3-point line, where McNeil chases it down. 3 seconds, long 3 on the way for Martin. Misses it. Muse, the board, her 15th. And what a night for Abby Muse. 13 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, and 6 blocks. One away from tying her career high. It's tied after 3, 58-58. We'll be back with the 4th on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. Leonard Berry back with you at Extra Mile Arena. Boise State tied with Eastern Washington 58-58. Double R Ranch is an exceptional quality premium beef brand from the heart of the Northwest and a proud partner of the Boise State Broncos. Whether you're watching Double R Vision at Extra Mile Arena or grilling a premium steak at home, we're proud to be part of your game day experience. Eastern Washington will start with the basketball in the fourth quarter of a tie game, 58-58. Broncos and Eagles taking each other on for the 13th straight season. And Eastern's got the ball with Millie Knowles at the top of the key. They move it to Buckley. Right wing three. Misses. And the ball is fought for between Muse and Buckley. It goes out of bounds off of Jacinta Buckley. And Muse will get to inbound for Boise State. Mentioned the 6 blocks for Muse. 7's the career high. And that was an impressive day for Muse when she got the 7. She got 5 1/4 against Air Force and finished the game with 7 on January 8th, 2021. Maya Hansen throws a pass to the left corner for Pasco. Pasco into the lane, jump pass to Muse. Great look for Abby Muse at the basket. Couldn't get it to go, but Lalat's got it. Throws it out for Pasco to chase. Grabs it just in front of the timeline. Pasco goes behind the back dribble to find Bays. Bays right wing, screen from Lalat. It's a cruncher as Lalat jump stops, moves around Alexander, who was set up for the charge, and then scores to give Boise State the lead on the right side. It's 60-58. A minute has gone by in the final period between Boise State and Eastern. Loera, left wing 3 in front of Pasco, and another three-pointer falls for Eastern Washington. They've hit 8 of 15. Pasco, right wing, and we got a stoppage and a whistle. Elodie Lalat went down onto a squat, trying to get up. And the time is stopped. She's just crouched down. Eastern up after the most recent three-pointer, 61-60. And based on Elodie's smile and conversation with Bronco trainer Mary Grace Chesta, it's looking like just a cramp. Coach Heather Sower and Bronco head coach Gordy Presnell went out onto the floor as well to check on the lot as she makes her way down the tunnel back towards the Bronco locker room. Boise State hoping that Lalat will be okay. She's a big part of their plans this season. You saw in the Boise State men's game, a lot of minutes for the Broncos starters, and Marcus Shaver and Max Rice both ended up cramping at different points in that game, but we're back underway. Boise State subs on Trista Hull, and they trail by a point. It's 61-60. Danny Bays comes off a screen to the top of the key and nails a three-pointer. That's a Mountain America three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward as Bays has her second three ball, and she's got 10 points. Broncos up by 2, 63-61. Loera to Alexander, crashes in to Trista Hull underneath the hoop, who said she had her feet set, but she's called for the block. Hull was just outside the restricted circle, sliding over to her left, and that was where she ran into Alexander. They say she doesn't have her feet set. So Alexander is at the free throw line, and she misses the first. Off to the right. Second coming up here for Alexander. Second one does go down. Inbound goes to Pasco, 63-62. Boise State in the lead, 8 minutes left to go. And Maya Hansen gets decked, goes down. Eastern's on the fast break. They nearly throw the ball away, going to Jadia Martin. And they find it into the left wing. Loera trying to hit another three, can't do it. Alexander gets the ball back. Three ball for Martin on the right wing after the pass, and she misses that one. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Eastern Washington ball. The shot was tipped. 63-62 is the score. in favor of Boise State. 7:45 left to play. Quick inbound play goes to Buckley, and Jacinta Buckley scores right at the rim. Puts Eastern ahead 64-63. 7.5 minutes to play. Danny Bays dribbling with the right hand, high dribble, catches the ball, throws to Narrow. Narrow to Trista Hull, left block, and trying to find Narrow, throws it away. Eastern with the 1-point advantage and a fast break. Behind the back pass as Jadia Martin tried to get too fancy on the 2-on-1. Throws it right out of bounds. And Elodie Lalott is back on the bench for Boise State, which is great news. 64-63, Eastern leads Boise State. 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the contest. Pasco catches on the right wing. Moves the ball to Bays. Bays, a jab step, thought about a three, thinks better. Moves it to Narrow on the left wing, and Narrow overthrows Abby Muse as Boise State continues to try to get the ball in deep. They continuously are throwing it away. 15 turnovers for Boise State. 3 turnovers in the last minute and a half for the Broncos. Zylak behind a Knowles screen on the left wing. Guarded by Bays. They go to Buckley. Muse gets a finger on it, but Buckley banks it in. And it's 67-63 as Eastern hits another baseline. Pasco into the left corner. Bays pump fakes. Again, doesn't take the three. Gets more open by moving the ball to Hull. Gets it back. And her three hits the front of the rim and goes out of bounds. 67-63, 6:25 left. Eastern Washington getting the basketball back, and Elodie Lalott is back on the floor for Boise State. Eastern trying to add to a 6-0 run. Alexander, top of the key to Loera, to the baseline, throws the ball through the bottom of the hoop as it caught the netting, made its way into the corner, and then Zylak returns it to Loera, who scores to make it 69-63. The Eastern run continues with 6 minutes left. Broncos down by 6. Pasco, right wing three. She's open again. She hits again. A Mountain America three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union guiding you forward, and Natalie Pasco approaching history. The three-point record in the game for Boise State is 8, done by Brooke Pawakoa back in 2016. Pasco's got 7. Broncos down by 3 with 5:40 left to go. Zylak's in the paint, throws it high, arcing off the glass. It rolls around and finally drops. Pasco's open again in transition. This time she misses the three. The ball is loose, and it's a tie-up between Narrow and Knowles with the arrow facing Boise State's way. .5:27 left to go in the fourth period. 71-66 Eastern the lead. Narrow inbounding for Boise State. They get it out to Elodie Lalott. Trista Hull left elbow, holding the ball above her head, posturing, finally dribbles it, then loses it to Loera, and Eastern's on the fast break with Lawrence, who gets in and scores, but Loera is down behind the play as she got wrapped up with Trista Hull. 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter as Loera makes her way off the floor and walks back to the Eagle bench. Eastern has made their last 5 field goals, and Boise State has turned the ball over 4 times in the last 3 minutes. They're up to 17 turnovers in the contest now, being outscored in the fourth 15-8. 73-66, Broncos need to pull off a rally and a run to come back in this one with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. Time not working against them yet. Hull, Pasco, who's got 23 points, a new career and season high for the freshman. In just the second game of the year, Bays left wing. Bays gets in, finds Lalott slipping to the hoop. Lalott on the left side, faces some contact and falls away to score. It's a 5-point Eastern lead at 73-68. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. Hand off to Millie Knowles, who's directing traffic at the top of the key. Gets the ball to Jada Martin, and she gets hand checked by Pasco. That'll be a foul for Pasco. That's the third foul of the contest. Actually, that's just the first foul for Pasco, and that'll lead us to a timeout at 73-68. Eastern Washington with the lead, but Boise State hanging tough with the Eagles here in their second game of the season on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. And went to San Ramon Valley High School. She was the EBAL Most Valuable Player twice and named to the Cal High Sports first team. She is showing that the transition from being one of the best players in her area to here in college has not phased her. She's got 23 points on 8 of 11 shooting, and she is a 3 away from tying the program record for threes hit in a single game. It's Eastern with the basketball, and Alexander with the step back, creates space at the free throw line, misses her shot. Buckley's got the second chance try, and Danny Bays gets clapped as she went up for the rebound. Ball went out of bounds off Eastern. Couldn't tell whether it was Jacinta Buckley or Aaliyah Alexander who hit her, but either way, it's Boise State basketball as the Broncos bring Abby Muse back onto the floor. Narrow, Pasco, and Bays, the guards, alongside Muse and Lalott, the forwards for the Broncos. Full court pressure from Eastern. Broncos beat it easily between the passing of Bays and Narrow. Narrow, right-handed dribble, crosses over to the left on the right wing. Bays to the top of the key off a screen, gets her defender in the air, steps back, doesn't shoot it though. Hands off to Pasco instead. Pasco to the free throw line. Bays left corner on the pass. Bays pump fakes. Another defender goes flying. Misses the three-pointer just in front of the Bronco bench. Eastern has the ball back, still up 5. 3:45 left to go. Fourth period. Eastern trying to end what is a 8-game skid against Boise State over the past 8 seasons. And on the dump down pass from Alexander, looking for Jadia Martin, it is a foul called against Boise State, and I believe it is going against Natalie Pasco, waiting for the confirmation, and yes, it is the second against Pasco. Inbound, top of the key to Jaleesa Lawrence. She gets in, she scores, and she gets fouled. Count the bucket. And one coming up. It's Pasco again who gets called for the foul. And Eastern has made it 75-68. Boise State trailing with an opportunity at the line for the Meridian native to add another. Doesn't do it though. So the Broncos down by 7. Narrow's got the ball. 3.5 on the clock, fourth quarter. Bays over top to Narrow. Narrow to Lalott. Lalott takes one dribble before finding Pasco. Pasco steps in, takes a jumper, misses that. Lalott gets bumped in the back as she went up for the rebound, and a foul called against Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington catching fire in the fourth quarter. They've outscored Boise State 17-10, and they're shooting 52% from the floor in the quarter. Broncos get to inbound with Narrow. She's underneath the hoop for Boise State. Looking for a pass. Goes over the top. Pasco catches free throw line extended right side. Danny Bays on the left wing gets the pass. Drives in. Rolls her layup off the front of the rim, and it stays out. Boise State needing a bucket in the worst way, but just can't find one at the moment. They're still down by 7, 75-68. Eastern Washington right to left with the basketball. 3 minutes. Loera fires one in to the elbow. That's where Martin is standing. We get a whistle and a foul. Pasco will check out. Maya Hansen will check in. Inbound coming up for Eastern Washington. It is Jamie Loera who will inbound it. We got another stoppage at the scorer's table that they're taking a look at. And it's the 5th foul against Boise State. They were trying to make sure that Eastern Washington was in the bonus, and yes, indeed, they are. Eastern now shooting 2 rather than having Loera inbound it. Shadia Martin makes the first free throw. Martin last year was a Big Sky honorable mention. She set program records in scoring average, total points, field goals, and field goal attempts, three-pointers made, and three-pointers attempted last year for Eastern. And she's been a high-volume shooter here tonight. She makes them both. It's 77-68, and Boise State, with less than 3 minutes, needs to go quickly. Bays with a long cross-court bounce pass to Elodie Lalott, and it forces Gordy Presnell to call a timeout. So the Broncos and the Eagles will head to their benches. 77-68 our score as we take another break in the fourth quarter with 2:49 left to play on the Coca-Cola Bronco Radio Network from Learfield. Eastern Washington Eagles, the Broncos trailing in this contest 77-68, 2:49 left to play. And for Boise State, trying to get another victory against Eastern, roll the streak to 9 seasons in a row that they have beat Eastern Washington. Boise State has knocked down 10 three-pointers tonight, shooting at a 43% clip from outside, but the Eagles have done it even better. They're 9 of 17, shooting 53% from downtown. And Abby Muse is going to inbound for Boise State out of the timeout. Broncos need some scores, and they need them in a hurry. Inbound goes to Maya Hansen on the left wing. Hansen dribbling in, waiting for some motion to come through. Bays gets open on the left wing, but there's no pass to be made for Hansen, who dribbles across to the right wing. Hansen on the drive, gets to the left elbow, backing down Loera. Hansen works, spins, scores, and Boise State finally breaks their scoring drought that had elapsed 2 minutes. 77-70, 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play between the Eagles and the Broncos on a Friday night. Alexander into the paint. She hops, stops, pops, and misses off back iron. A quick shot and a miss was exactly what the Broncos needed. And then Maya Hansen picks up the ball and gets fouled by Jamie Loera, which allows her to break the pressure and stop the clock for Boise State. So a number of things going in the Broncos' favor right there on that possession. 7 points the difference. Boise State trails 77-70, and on the breakout, Boise State throws the ball away. It went from Hansen to Muse. Muse tried to find Bays over down by the three-point line of the left hoop, and it just went right out of bounds. So Eastern gets the ball back for free, an unforced error with 2 minutes left. Left corner, Buckley for three, airballs it. Lalott's got the rebound, and Boise State's got to run. Maya Hansen goes up the court quickly for the Broncos. Bounce pass to Muse. It is on the floor, loose. Buckley got it. Her and Muse hit the ground, but she managed to roll it away to Loera. And more time is going to run off the clock on another Bronco turnover. Eagles trying to slow things down a little bit. They've been a quick run-and-gun offense tonight, as has Boise State. They do slow it down. They drop it to Martin on the left block. She misses her first shot, goes up over Muse and gets the ball back and scores to make it 79-70. A minute 25 to go, fourth quarter. Broncos and Eagles. Boise State with the ball. Danny Bays at the top of the key. Picks up her dribble, finds Elodie Lalott. Lalott taking a dribble, now palms the basketball, waiting for Nero to run to her. A dribble handoff and a pick and roll. Nero to the basket, misses the shot. Lalott's got the rebound. That misses, and with a minute 6 left, Boise State trails by 9 points. Elodie Lalott is going to the free throw line. She will be shooting 2 for the Boise State Broncos, and she needs to hit them both. Not enough time left for Boise State. Really any other result to happen. She makes the first. (71-79). Lalott, second free throw, front rim, back iron, in. Broncos behind by 7. It's 79-72. Eastern looking to snap their losing streak at the hands of Boise State. Less than a minute to go. Maya Hansen getting a bit too handsy with Jamie Loera, and a foul is called. Eastern's in the bonus. They will be shooting 2, will the Eagles. Loera goes to the free throw line, place that she's not been all that often this evening. Just one trip, she went 1 for 2. She does have 4 personal fouls. So Loera playing in a little bit of a dangerous game. First free throw gets a shooter's roll and goes home. Eastern's got 80. 80-72 the score. Make it 81. A swish. 56 seconds for the Broncos to try to make the miraculous happen. Narrow right corner. Quick jump pass to Lalott. It is stolen. And the turnovers piled up in the second half for Boise State. That's their 20th. As they try to trap Loera, she breaks away from it. Gets it over the timeline. And Eastern Washington is going to hold the basketball. Try to take more time off the clock. Leading 81-72. Cross-court pass to Alexander. She is tripped by Danny Bays. And with 26.7 seconds left, it is more free throws coming up for Eastern Washington. And an opportunity to ice the game at the line for Aaliyah Alexander. Alexander, who did not get an opportunity to play last season. She missed the whole year due to injury in head coach Jody Gleason's first year. She makes the first free throw. And the redshirt freshman from Federal Way, Washington, has now put the Eagles up by 10, and more than likely ended any chance of a Bronco comeback with it being a 4-possession game. The second one drops too, just for good measure. It's 83-72. Broncos with the basketball. Bays tries to go attack mode, gets into the lane and gets fouled. And Danny Bays will take a couple of free throws. Tough night for Bays shooting. She went 4 of 15 in the game, but just 2 of 10 from three-point land. I mean, these will be the first 2 free throws for the freshman from Brisbane, Australia. Another one of the freshmen that Gordy Presnell was really high on coming into the season after Bays spent her time playing for the Logan Thunder in the Australia NBL 1. She makes the first free throw, second one coming up. And Bays hits them both. It's 83-74. And Eastern Washington is going to call a timeout. Get some substitutions into the contest. It looks like here in the late stages, 20 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. And it certainly looks as though Boise State will fall to 1-1 on the season, unless they can pull off a couple of inbound steals and hit some three-pointers. Really good night for a number of Broncos. Abby Muse, 13 points, 15 rebounds to go along with 4 assists and 6 blocks. Elodie Lalott, 17 points, 12 rebounds on the night. So the 2 Bronco bigs into double figures in both the rebounding and scoring department. That gives them both double-doubles. And Eastern inbounds the ball. With no shot clock remaining, the Eagles will just dribble out the rest of this contest as they continue to pass the ball across the court. Less than 10 seconds to play as Loera spins away from danger. Maya Hansen tries to go for the reach around poke and get the steal, but it doesn't work, and the final buzzer goes. And the Eastern Washington Eagles improve to 2-0 on the season, and they end Boise State's dominance in this rivalry. It had been 8 straight for the Broncos, but Eastern comes back and wins the ball game here tonight at ExtraMile Arena, 83-74, after Boise State came in to Cheney last year and beat Eastern Washington 72-63. Eastern Washington comes into Boise, and they do to the Broncos what the Broncos did to them last year, and that'll lead us into the Intermountain and Salzer Health post-game show. Salzer Health and Intermountain Healthcare is the official sponsor of the Broncos. You can visit salzerhealth.com/GoBroncos to find